So there are two things to learn for today. The first thing is we are going to learn about demonstrative pronouns, and the following one would be have got. So let's start with demonstrative pronouns first. What are demonstrative pronouns? Demonstrative pronouns are pronouns that are used to point at something specific within a sentence. For example, this, that, these, those. What makes these four demonstrative pronouns different? Well, for this and that, it is used on singular noun, whereby for these and those are used for plural nouns. When do we use demonstrative pronouns? This is an example. When we use this, it is used on a singular noun as what I mentioned earlier. How many apples can you see in the picture? There's only one, right? So singular means. But then, when we use the demonstrative pronoun this, it is used to point something that is very near. When do we use demonstrative pronouns? This is an example. When we use this, it is used on a singular noun as what I mentioned earlier. How many apples can you see in the picture? There's only one, right? So singular means one. But then, when we use the demonstrative pronoun this, it is used to point something that is very near to you. And the number of that particular thing that you point should be only one. Next, that. What is the difference between this and that? The difference is the distance. When we are pointing at something which is quite far away from the point you are standing, then we will use that for the thing that we are pointing, with the condition that the apple is only one. That is why in this picture we say that is an apple. How about these? These is the same meaning as this. The only difference is that when we use these, we are pointing at something there is more than one. Question for you, how many apples can you see from the picture? It's more than one, right? It's three. So when we are pointing at something which are near to us, then we use these. That is why in the picture, the finger is pointing very near to those apples. That is why they use these are apples. Next, those. Those is the same meaning as that, but that is used for a singular noun. It's only used for one apple. However, those is used for plural. How many apples can you see? It's three, so it's more than one. So those is used to point at something which is more than one but far away from the location that you are standing when you are pointing. So this is the distance. Can you see that? Let's try to look at some examples on how can we use this demonstrative pronouns. Look at question number 1. Is this or those your pen under the teacher's chair? How can we know which one is the answer without looking at the picture? There's no picture here, but there is a clue here. How many pen is that? There's only one. So we know that those is used for something that is in plural, and this is used for something that is in singular. The noun in the sentence is singular or plural? It's singular. That is why we go for this. So the answer is this your pen under the teacher's chair? Number 2, this or these presents are nice. We look at the noun. Which one is the noun? The noun is presents. How many presents are they? It's more than one. How do we know it's more than one? Because there is an S at the back. So when the nouns is in plural, which one should we go for? This is used for something singular, and these is used for something plural. So the answer here is these. Number 3, that or those is Maria's dad. What is the noun here? The noun here is Maria's dad. So since it's only one, therefore there is only one answer which can be used, which is that, because that is used for singular noun but in the distance. So when we know that that is used for something that is distant from us, so when we read the sentence, we can actually imagine the picture of that particular situation when it happened. Number 4, that those pants are mine. How do we know? The same thing, the nouns are pants is more than one, so it's plural, and the only demonstrative pronouns that can be applied is those, because that is for singular. Those is for plural, and it is within a distance from your location. We are going to discuss further. Number 1, affirmative, negative, questions, and also short answers, which mean we are going to use have got or has got to write affirmative and negative sentences, as well as writing questions and short answers. This is a table for your reference when you are writing an affirmative sentence. Affirmative means yes, something that you say yes to it. So why is there a has got and have got? It's because of the subject pronouns that we use. He, she, it, we use has got. They, we, I, you, we use have got. And the same thing goes to negative. When something that is negative, it means it says no to a particular sentence. It's totally opposite to affirmative. Affirmative, yes. Negative, we say no. So when we want to say no using has got or have got, this is the way we write it. This is for your reference. So he, she, it, we use hasn't got. They, we, I, you, we use haven't got. So it's totally opposite. If affirmative, he, she, it has got. Negative, just put an apostrophe T, make it into hasn't. So hasn't got, haven't got. Are you clear about that? Now we try to make some sample sentences. Number 1, he has got a mobile phone. Is it grammatically correct? Yes, because subject pronoun he, we use has got. And number 2, an example of negative sentence. They haven't got a mobile phone. They, subject pronoun or negative sentence. They, we, I, you haven't got. Okay, it's correct. Next, for making questions, when we want to make it into questions, then we have to split has or have with got. For making questions, when we want to make it into questions, then we have to split has or have with got, which means later on we are going to construct the questions beginning with has or have. I'm going to show you sample sentences later, but just remember that anything that goes with subject pronoun he, she, it, we will start with has. And the same thing goes to they, we, I, you, we use have, whereby for they, we, I, you, we use have. And for short answer, if we want to answer it as yes, then we say he, subject pronoun he, she, or it, we use has. No, he, she, or it hasn't. And for subject pronoun they, we, I, you, the same thing. Yes become have. No become haven't. Okay, I'm going to show you some sample sentence so that it will be easier for you to write later on. I will start with one question. Has he got his mobile phone? Which table should I refer to? The green one or the red one? Definitely it's the green one because I'm asking questions. So we try to look at the highlighted words there. Has and got is in yellow color. So means that after this, when we answer and we want to answer it as yes or no, how should we answer it? We have to refer to the red table. If the answer is yes, yes, he has. And if the answer is no, no, he hasn't. Just refer to the table